Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my playthrough of Dark Souls 2's Call of the First Sin. So today we're going to be taking on the Pursuer, one of the first bosses to show up in the game, but definitely not one of the first bosses you should be going against. He's built for a little bit higher level of a character, someone who has decent weapons and armor, which we do have at the moment, so we should be able to take him on. As you can see right now, I have the Hide Sword. It has a very good base damage, and if you notice from the tinge when I attack enemies, it also has a lightning damage, which is really cool. It's always nice to get an elemental weapon pretty early on in the game. Elemental damage in this game, pretty much nothing of consequence, but it's always nice to have that little extra step up. But today, I think I'm going to be talking about the lore of Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, as both games tie together very loosely. And if I were to describe the lore of Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 very loosely, I would say that the story begins, and it also ends, with the choice to link the fire, renewing the world, and staving off the undead curse, or walking away and bringing on an age of darkness. So the undead curse seems to be this reoccurrent issue that seems to be happening in the world of Dark Souls. Every time the fire is rekindled, a new age gets started, and a whole entire empire will begin and fall all in the same time, and it seems to correlate with the undead curse coming back every time after this. The undead curse basically afflicts all humans within the realm, and they become these kind of slowly hollowing entities that slowly lose their humanity and slowly become monsters over time. And they're all drawn to a singular place where the fire can be rekindled, and they're all trying to more or less get rid of their curse and go to this without knowing why. But more or less, the story of Dark Souls 2 kind of starts with the giants coming to the land of Lordran, and the King Vendrick and his brother Aldea doing what they can to stave that off, and they eventually do end up staving off this attack with the undead giants, but with them comes the return of the undead curse, which seems to come back again and again in all of these games. And Aldea more or less takes a little bit more of an analytical, scholarly approach to trying to find out what is exactly the undead curse and how to remedy it. And Vendrick takes a little bit more of a steadfast assault towards the undead curse against anyone who has it, to try to basically abolish it as much as he can. And Aldea takes kind of a direction that more or less ends up turning him into this giant monstrosity who we'll be seeing later on in the game. And Vendrick eventually succumbs to the curse himself, and we'll be seeing that as well. And you can see how Dark Souls 1 and 2 fit together, as a lot of the item descriptions for the Great Lord souls in this game actually are loosely tied to the Great Lords from Dark Souls 1, more or less insinuating that every time that the fire is rekindled, all these souls basically eventually find a host and end up becoming powerful again. And that this form of storytelling in these games, it's very interesting. I'm sure they'll be continuing it with Dark Souls 3. I do feel like it doesn't really give much weight to your decisions, because if you decide to simply walk away and start an Age of Darkness, another undead eventually will come back to rekindle the flame, or take the Iron Throne as well. And it makes you feel like your time in the game really doesn't have that much consequence, since it's just a continuous cycle, and it's insinuated that there's a lot of other cycles that have happened that you're not seeing, or ones that are very similar. But nonetheless, that's the story we've been giving, and let's hope Dark Souls 3 pretty much puts an end to it, or it gives a little bit more of a creative spin on it. Oh, that should not have hit me. I was outside of the attack radius, but whatever. Okay, so I'm going to have to be a little bit smarter with my health here, now that I'm down to almost nothing, and I'm apparently cursed as well. But more of a challenge, so let's see what we can do here. Nope. Okay, just need enough of a moment to get him in an attack pattern so I can get a good heal in. Come on. But anyways, I do find it very interesting that everything sort of ties together, and the Lord Souls have come back in a way. It's a very interesting idea. And the entire story is not exactly something that you would call a gimmick. It's its own specific kind of, blend of a story, and it's interesting. But nonetheless, Alright, so now that we have made short work of the pursuer, there's actually a really nice set of armor down here, so I'm going to go and get that real quick. Alright, now that we have a new ring, I'm going to go ahead and put this on, give us a little bit better of attack. Not too much need for defense against the more lance-like weapons. I won't need that ring right now. And what do we have here? So we have an undead attacking this sort of tree. Very interesting. It looks more like one of these giants here, which is insinuated that's a giant that's been fallen for a long time. And I'll go ahead and give the spoiler now, but that is actually in the giant, which you'll need to go into the memory of once you have a very specific key item in the game. And when you get this specific key item, there's really not much direction as to that's what you're supposed to do. So a lot of people end up, getting this item and then they have no idea what to do in the game. And it's very jarring. So let's go ahead and put on this new armor set, and we should be good to go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, well, I will go ahead and cut the episode off here. I'll be seeing you guys shortly in the next episode. And I think Ned Flanders is going to be kicking some major ass and taking some major names once again. Alright, guys, take it easy. See ya.